Where does this meh mound of mediocrity land? Let's rank this film on the Cageometer.
That leads us over to the big question that we ask on this show. Vince, where does Next from 2007 rate on your Cageometer?
I've been so negative this season so far on films, and I feel really bad now giving Outcast a 0. It's just a terrible movie, don't get me wrong. This is an awful movie too, but I feel like after hearing Nigel talk about how he kind of rates things or the philosophy behind rating, I can't give this movie a 0. So I'll give it a 1. I think this could have been a good movie. I think this could have been a good story had they, because I do feel like there's substance here that they could have made a compelling story. I just think they tried to shoehorn it into a vision that just didn't work from the get-go, and for whatever reason we're too stubborn to move on and do a real rewrite where they rewrote a good film. The acting from everybody was terrible. Other than Jessica Biel, she was like the most grounded person, and it wasn't even like she gave a stellar performance. She just tried. Everybody else didn't seem to try. From the nondescript bad guys to Julianne Moore to Nick. I mean, it's just, she's the only one that seemed to be trying to give a good performance.
I think she had the most to lose out of all the actors.
I think so too, because this was very young in her career, and she was trying to be that breakout star, and she was coming off of some films that I think she was getting some mixed reviews on. So it was a pivotal point in her career, which unfortunately she got roped into doing this film. On paper, you think, it should be a good movie, but just execution wise was not. Probably has a lot to do. I would assume it has something to do with Nick having creative control over stuff, because it just it reminded me a lot of Sunny, and it felt like there was a lot of Cage influence in this fucking movie. So anyways, back. It's just a 1. It could have been a good movie. They just missed it. The fact that you had 3 writers on it and none of them could make this into something that worked and didn't have as many plot holes as it had is pretty sad. Performance wise for Cage, 3, 4. Give him a 4, I guess. I won't be too harsh. It's just like with movies like this, it's hard for me to really judge, because like there's not a lot of substance in the script. There's not a lot of substance in the dialogue. There's not a lot of character development. I mean, you're asking these people to like just essentially go out there and just say these words. Don't even put emotion into it.
Yeah.
Don't try to create a character, because there's nothing on the paper to really give you that substance. I guess to his credit, at least he was like, we'll make him a magician. And, he's not the smartest guy, but he's trying, right? And he's a good guy. He doesn't want to cheat anybody. He does the right thing, whatever. But it's just like really wooden performance.
The magician thing is kind of a cool, could potentially be a good angle of taking it, like a psychic who pretends to be shitty at magic.
Yeah, I think that would have been. You could have created a good character and given some depth to the character had you actually developed that aspect of it. Because I think that is, I do think that is a smart idea. This guy can, only see 2 minutes in the future, but that gives him an ability to then maximize like being a magician or a mentalist. Like there's so many different routes that you could have gone and created a very good complex character. I really do kind of wish maybe they would have leaned more into, he was an alcoholic and he was using alcohol to suppress his visions. I think that would have been interesting. And then he meets her.
That
and
was
then all
something
this
we completely came up with, though.
Right. But I mean,
it would have been an interesting twist. Or not twist,
it would have been, it would have been
flaw.
a nice character flaw that he, Anyway, so this is,
we were writing a better film, was what I was
exactly. And we tend to do that with these shitty movies. Like we tend to infer things or add our own things that would have made these movies better. So yeah, I'll give him a 4. I don't want to beat up on him too much. There's nothing in the script for any of them. Mm-hmm. I'm done. I'm over this film.
All right, Nigel, where does next rate on your Cageometer?
I don't want to give it a 1 because I feel like that's reserved for bottom of the barrel, I guess. And this movie's
that's
close.
reserved for the movie that we're about to watch.
That's what I think. I feel like we have watched worse movies than this.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 2, mainly because I think the premise is interesting to the point where they didn't use it right, but it's an interesting idea that you could explore. And I think they tried, but like I said, they just kept writing themselves into corners everywhere with it because it's a really hard thing to adapt in whatever stupid plot they've set up for this. But yeah, I hated this movie. Like, it was painful to watch because it's not even so bad it's good. It's just bad and dumb, and it insults your intelligence to try and just make you go along for this stupid ride. They take a decent premise and do the dumbest possible plot with it. It's just shit you see, like, oh, we're gonna stop a nuke. That's how you have high stakes. Like, and yeah, acting is pretty much terrible across the board. I'll get to Nick's performance a little bit for it, but yeah, Julianne Moore's just like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like Julianne Moore can at least just read lines better than she was just reading lines in this. Like, it felt like she was actively giving a bad performance. Jessica Biel was fine. I think her character sucks, but I mean, she's doing what she could with it. I mean, she's just supposed to be this doe-eyed love interest with barely any plot, like any detail or character to it. Yeah. So whatever. She did that just fine. Peter Falk, I guess. I don't know. He was in the movie.
He was in the movie.
He was there.
But, yeah, like you're dumb bad guys with no motivation or characterization or whatever. It's just it's shitty all across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the real tragedy of Robert Oppenheimer is that his actions led to this movie existing. That's the real crime against humanity that he is guilty of.
Of all the things he's ever been accused of,
allowing a movie like Next to exist because of his creation of the atomic bomb.
This is
should be up there.
This is the most damning thing. He should have been in prison just because of this.
Yeah. Anyway, don't watch this movie. I feel like the cinema score and the audience scores and stuff are too high.
Yeah.
For it. And I mentioned it before, but this is like the caliber of Nick Cage movies I was used to before we started out on this podcast. So it's like, please don't blame me if I wasn't too stoked about watching every Nicolas Cage movie ever made at the outset of this thing, because this is the kind of crap that I was exposed to and all I knew of. It's just like, oh my God.
There were some real clunkers. Between like the late 90s and the early 2020s, I guess. It's just lots of shit in there.
Yeah.
Cage, I'd say a 5 because I felt like he was okay. Like, I mean, the character, he kind of brought that goofy goodness to him, I suppose. And I don't know. I don't feel like he had anything good to work with it. Like Vince said, there's this paper thin characterization of it. Like, the only characterization he has is that he's a magician, and Cage invented that for the character. Other than that, he's just good guy who wants to bang a hot chick who can see into the future, and that's it. I felt like he's fine. Like, I just give him a 5. Like, I don't feel like he did a bad job. I don't think he did a good job. There was nothing he could do. I just felt like it was a mid performance. For it. So I don't want to be too harsh on him because I feel like he was a decent enough actor compared to everyone else in this piece of shit for it. It just seems like it was a paycheck.
Yeah.
And he could have been worse. I've seen him be worse and stuff. And I don't think this movie deserved the best. So I feel like he could have just phoned it in even more and no one would have stopped him. But I think maybe because it was his production company, so he kind of has a little bit of pride in it. So not completely shit the bed with this character. So yeah, Chris, the hell's his last name?
Johnson.
Chris Johnson's not going to. Yeah, it's not going to be in the annals of great Nick Cage characters, but I don't think he deserves to be in the doghouse with some shitty ones like Ghost Rider, Eddie King, or
Eddie King is not a shitty character.
Eddie King in
Arsenal.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
not Eddie King in
Right.
Deadfall.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what more you want out of it. It did what he could with a stupid movie. I felt like. So, I didn't hate watching him on screen like I have in some other stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, true.
It was hard to look at that hairline, though.
But
I mean, it's genetics. What are you gonna
do? Yeah,
he hadn't figured out, like you said, he hadn't had the hair plugs yet, or figured out how to make that look good. So it seemed like he was just doing this weird, the same hair he had in like, what was it, Book of Secrets and Bad Lieutenant stuff.
Yeah, it was like that weird era.
Spirit of Vengeance.
He was like skinny, and his head felt too big for his body, and his hair was too long.
Yeah,
and his receding hairline. He just looks strange in that era.
Yeah, I mean, now he looks pretty good. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks great for 60, 61.
But there's just a couple of points in his life where he kind of looks a little goofy.
Yeah. Young Nick Cage.
Really early on.
This era.
Then, like, this era.
Yeah. Definitely weird.
But I think it fits this character. This guy's kind of just, he's not a huge action star, except for when he's beating up FBI agents or whatever. But
yeah,
he's just a guy,
Yeah.
Kind of schlubby, kind of awkward. Good, heart of gold. Yeah, golden man.
Yeah, gold man.
Jacket of gold.
On my Cageometer, I'm waffling. Like I kind of waffle between like a 2 and a 3. The only reason that I'm like maybe a 3 because cinematography was decent, music was decent, it looked okay, it was shot okay. Story, this is like one of the most dog shit stories that we have ever talked about on this show. I'm going to give him a 3, and that's so that our overall score is a 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to make up for how harsh Vince was, just to bring it up because I don't believe that it belongs in the same pantheon as Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance or Arsenal or Between Worlds, which we're going to talk about in a few weeks.
Flash forward.
Flash
had a vision.
A little bit. I had a vision of a shitty movie in the future that will get a little worse score than Next does. It is just like everything you guys said. It is just filled to the brim like Swiss cheese with plot holes. It is horrible. It's a horrible film. It is really badly written. Everything is just like, well, just don't think about it. And so it makes sense if you don't think about it. Just pretend it didn't happen. And it just so many things that we called out throughout of just like, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why is this happening? Like everybody's performances were garbage, dude. Like I think the saving grace of Jessica Biel in this is that she wasn't in it very much. She probably would have given a shittier performance.
That probably does help. Yeah, that probably does help her case. So she had very limited screen time.
Yeah, same with Peter Falk. Like if he would have been in it longer, I'm sure it would have gotten bad. It wasn't great. It's like, you want to play pool? That's all he really had to do. Oh, some sandwiches.
Yeah, thanks for the sandwiches.
Right on.
Is this tuna or
2 of them.
salad?
Thank God. It's just shit, dude. I hate this movie. It's a really terrible movie. Just across the board. For Nick, I'm gonna give him a 4. I don't think he was great. I don't think he was bad, but I think he was like just a little bad. Like some of those cagey moments really took me out. Like the goofy moves that he makes, like when he's getting shot at and stuff. Like the impetus for that of Cage being like, well, he's thought it out, so it's like a ballet, and I'm like, no, why? No, it's just stupid, dude.
I guess his thought process is just like he could choreograph it because he's seen it so many times. So ballets are choreographed, so it's like a dance.
It's like a dance for him running from the FBI. I don't know, man. Some of the choices that were made by him overall, like his company was the one who rewrote this story from what it was originally, which sounds like it might have been a little bit better, but also bad. I don't know, man.
Same ending, which is a huge problem.
Yes. Yeah. I hate the twist. That's like one of my biggest things. It's like you just undid half of the movie.
Yep.
And that's such a fuck you to the audience.
Like,
why did we waste our time then? Like, oh, now he's going to go fix things. Like, then why did we watch the last 45 minutes of this thing if you're just going to undo the whole thing?
You don't get that feeling of satisfaction either.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just.
I mean, I would be like, well, I wonder what happens next, but I don't care. I want them all to die. I want Los Angeles to be taken out in this reality.
Well, that's what they want you to wonder what's happening next.
Yeah. And I couldn't give a shit.
That's the sequel.
Yeah. So overall, couldn't give a shit. It's a sequel. Overall, I would just say, don't watch this movie. Yeah. Avoid it at all costs.
Save yourself.
Save yourself. Don't watch next.
You could do anything in that hour and a half that would be better.
Besides watch like Arsenal or Dark. Actually, I would recommend watching Dark over.
Yeah,
because at least Dark makes you think a little bit.
You'll see stuff in Dark that you don't necessarily get in every movie for good reason, but it's there. So
recommend it just for that line where he talks about the monkeys in Africa giving people AIDS or whatever. Just that line alone. Yeah.
I'd recommend it on both as a way to not end your movie, I guess.
Yeah.
This one too, but I wouldn't even recommend watching this one because it's
No.